Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about a very important topic, and that is dead weight. Because last videos I've been called a dead weight, which it happens all the time, you know. Everyone is being called a dead weight at some point, while you even are not a dead weight actually. So in this video I will talk about what the common misconceptions are about dead weights, because I noticed that a lot of people don't actually know what a dead weight is, because they use old methods that don't work anymore to determine a dead weight. So first I'll explain this old method, then debunk it, and show the problems, and then I will show you a solution that I made, basically a new theory. If you ask someone in the game what is a dead weight, 9 out of the 10 people will always refer to the governor's ID related to the kill points and the power. So, here we have the ID. You can see the age of an account based on that ID, minus 3 to 5 years old. And then they start looking at your KP. So what you can do now, for example, I have played for 3 years, and they will say in 3.5 years you only got 1 billion KPs. Well, that's deadweight material, because that's not that much actually. Keep in mind, they don't care about the backstory of someone. So the first comparison that they make is the account age compared to the kill points. This might sometimes indeed give a correct interpretation or prediction of how many KPs you're gonna get in the future KVKs, and if you're at that weight. But not always, because mine is 1 billion, and it's 1 billion with a reason. The second thing that the old deadweight theory usually point out is the power, usually compared to the kill points and the governor ID as well. If your power is like 200 million with, let's say, 1 billion kill points, yeah, that's deadweight material, is what they say. And yes, I agree, that is truly correct. But you don't know if that 1 billion KP is just from the last KVK or over a couple of years. You don't know the time span in which they got that 1 billion kills or kill points. This is where my solution comes into place. As you see, this is the Atark list, and there you can see actually what stats you got in the last couple of KVKs. In my case, it said last KVK or highest KVK performance. I hope Lilith will somehow add it in this way that we can see literally every KVK performance in the past, because now we can only see the best one, so it's not always a good indication. But this right here, the Atark thing, the KVK Lost Kingdom medal, that shows a much shorter time span compared to the Governor ID. So you have a much better picture of what someone can actually kill, how much troops someone can actually kill in one KVK. So let's clarify this with one example. This guy right here, he would be called a deadweight, because his power is really high and his KP are relatively low with an old account, so he would be called a deadweight with the old theory, right? But with what I propose, so the Atark list, we're looking at that, the KVK per station, let's take a look. He actually got 30 million tier 4, tier 5 kills, which is of course really good. That's not deadweight at all. If you're gonna zero a dude who got 30 million tier 45 kills last KVK, that's crazy. You won't do that, right? Because, 30 million, it's a lot. That's what you really want, to be honestly, for sure for free-to-plays. So this guy right here, he is not a deadweight at all. But with the old theory, this would be called a deadweight. And that's why I think it's really incorrect. So let's get through some more examples. With the old deadweight theory, this guy would be called a hero. You see 60 million power compared to 5.1 billion kill points. And usually people think that's great, it's a great ratio, right? But well, no, say no less, because 1.3 million kills in the last couple of KVKs was the highest in 2 KVKs, which is really bad. So this guy fooks up the whole matchmaking because of his high KP. So that's one way I see it. This is dead weight, right? While the old system doesn't show it as dead weight. The old way of thinking, I mean. Same goes for this account. You have 107 mil power with 2.4 billion kill points. Well, this is normally, well, on the edge, but, well, as you can see, only 3.5 million kills. It's not that much, actually. So the reason why these guys probably have it is because they don't spend anymore, or they sold their account and it's now someone free to play running their account, which then of course makes sense because you're not spending as much and you don't have that much speed ups actually. So that's why their KP is lower. And this next guy, he really, well, I think he is literally the definition of my definition of dead weight, right? Because in the old way of defining dead weight, he would be, well, pretty normal. This would be a normal guy, like 105 million power with 2.6 billion KP. They would say, really nice. But last 2 KVKs, exactly 0 kills. Well, yeah, right? That is really dead weight material, I guess. That's not someone I would like to have in my kingdom as being leadership, right? Because he doesn't do anything. But his stats don't say that. So this new function, the autark function or KVK function as you would call it is quite useful. So let's have one more example of these low requirements. This dude has 127 mil with 2.3 billion kill points and only like 0.4 million kills, which is not much. So it is dead weight. In, well, my definition, it is dead weight. The next one I will talk about might be a little bit unexpected because you might think, well, he cut 30 million kills, right? So that is not a big issue. But, well, it actually is. So in the last 2 KVKs, his highest kills was 30 million, which normally would be really good, but his skill points are 10 billion, which is so much. That's like, I think, enough to have like 20 KVKs, 30 million kills. I'm not entirely sure, but that's multiple KVKs. I think like 20 KVKs worth of 30 million kills. But what I think is that this dude is not playing 20 KVKs. That would be impossible. I think there was not a single kingdom in this game that played 20 KVKs yet. But I think this is a retired spender or someone who has been spending less because, well, you don't get 10 billion KP just by spending a little bit, right? So then you would argue, well, 30 million kills, so what is the problem? He got his 30 million kills. Why would you call him a deadweight? Well, here's the thing. He got 10 billion kill points. So if you're in 1365 or in 1093, it's not a big issue. But if you're in a kingdom like me, if she was in a kingdom like me, where we have the main alliance is 62 billion kill points, then she would have been literally like 15% of our entire kingdom's kill points. And since the KVK matchmaking, which a lot of people don't know, also works with measuring all CDL25 accounts and then measuring all kill points, all deads, all activity, and all power. That's what the KVK matchmaking does. But if you have this one dude with like 10 billion kill points, which is 15% of the kingdom, he will basically be dead weight because he gets 30 million kills for 10 billion kill points. That's what his account is worth. So to compare, I got the same amount of kills. I got 32 million kills, right? But the difference is my power is of course 30 million lower, which is significant, but also my kill points is 10 times as low. So we could have 10 people like me, basically, maybe 9 or 8 if you got the power 2. So 7 of me, let's say 7, would equal, well, 7 times 30 is 240 million kills for the same amount of total kill points. And there is what we're gonna see. That's the issue, right? If she had only, like, let's say 500 million kill points in total, then that 30 million is really, really good because it's like, well, let's say 80% new KP. So in short, in the original view, the original definition of dead weight that others had, the guy on the right side, which is me, would be a dead weight because his account age is really old and his KP, total KP, is relatively old and they don't look at last KVK kills, okay? So on the left side, that guy would have been a hero because, well, he or she is 75 million, same power, same age, but 10 times as much KP. So he would be worshipped. But they didn't know the last KVK kills, which is only 10 million. And, well, since I am 32 million on the right side, then the roles are switched. The guy on the left is actually the dead weight. And that is because he is padding the kingdom's stats in KP. He is messing things up for the kingdom. So please, kings, if you are looking to get other people into your kingdom, please consider that last KVK kills because it's really, really important. And if they are like, let's say 1 billion KP, but they got like 40 million kills last KVK, then that's a really, really good indication that they might, well, give even more KP or kills in the next couple of KVKs, right? So my definition of dead weight is actually compare the last couple of KVKs or the last KVK kills, and of course also you can see the deaths right there. And then what you can do as a kingdom is set a minimum requirement. For example, I think the dude with 10 billion KP, if he want to be worth it to stay in the kingdom, he should get like at least maybe like 10%, 5% of his total KP in every KVK. So that's my solution. I think as a player, free to play or not, you should at least get 5 to 10% of your KP in one KVK. And of course, well, it goes up when you're like 10 billion, it's 1 billion what you need to have extra. And if you're like 10 million kill points, it's only like 1 million. So that doesn't work, right? So let's say if you're like under a billion KP, you should try, let's say 20%, if not more, or in your first couple of KVKs, KVK 1 and 2, you really want to like get a 500% increase in KP at some point. So let's say the minimum amount of kills to or KP to not be a dead weight is, for example, well, you can say 50 million, 100 million. It depends being a kingdom, but when your total KP goes up, then that minimum requirements should also be higher. Simply because you're padding the stats, and therefore even if on this comparison the guy on the left had the same last KVK kills as me, even then I would be still more worth, and he would be the dead weight. So the common misconception that the dudes in the comments have been debunked so far by me. So guys, I hope you really liked it, learned something new because, well, I don't really see someone else talking about it, no other YouTuber, and I think this is really, really important because, well, we're 5 years into the game and things have changed. In the past, the old theory would have worked very good. But let's say 5 years later, it's almost impossible to get good calculations and it doesn't give the complete picture anymore. So the new system that Lilith introduces, the KVK, is much, much easier on your profile. I hoped I clarified a lot. Please leave a like and subscribe. Join our Discord server because it's important. And see you in the next one.